Coming up tonight on YCN News, school consolidation in Vermont is the focus this month. The New Hampshire State House continues to work towards a budget resolution. And area athletes are named for Vermont's all-state baseball team. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN News, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, July 7th. I'm Kurt Weedy, and welcome to YCN News. Vermont School Superintendent David Baker is inviting residents of the 4 towns he oversees to meetings this summer regarding Act 46, the state law encouraging school consolidation as a way to save taxpayers' money. A goal of Act 46 is to have each school district in grades K through 12 to be at least 900 students. The new law requires school districts with fewer than 900 students to merge. Baker notified Windsor Town Manager Tom Marsh of the meetings, which will inform people in Windsor, West Windsor, Wethersfield, and Heartland, Vermont. The meetings are scheduled for later this month. Baker says in his letter to Marsh that the meetings will explain the new law in detail and how these 4 towns may be affected by it. The information will be the same at each meeting, so a resident from Windsor could attend a meeting in Wethersfield, for example. YCN News will bring you more updates on this story this week. To see a list of all Act 46 related meetings, go to windsorvt.org. Well, the weather is heating up, and so is the frustration level between Democratic and Republican lawmakers in New Hampshire. Now it's becoming a war of words, so to speak. With Governor Maggie Hassan's recent veto of the proposed $11.3 billion budget, legislators will continue working this summer to resolve the budget impasse. Hassan refers to the budget that she vetoed as the Republican budget. Conversely, Speaker of the House Sean Jasper, a Republican, spells out in a published letter that the budget the governor vetoed would have supported her goals for the state. Chairman of the House Finance Committee Neil Kirk, according to Jasper, says dedicated funds were not raided, the state colleges system would have received funding, that some health and human services and fish and game department needs would have been funded. These are a few items Jasper mentions in his letter. On the flip side, New Hampshire Senate Democratic leader Jeff Woodburn and House Democratic leader Stephen Shurtleff responded to Speaker Jasper's letter. Woodburn and Shurtleff say that House and Senate Democrats remain in sync with Governor Hassan that the budget she vetoed is fiscally irresponsible. As the budget now stands, it would allow for some corporate tax cuts that would leave the state short by $90 million. Based on Speaker Jasper's letter, Shurtleff and Woodburn are concerned that the House Speaker will not negotiate a budget compromise on good faith. Well, turning to other regional news, Vermont State Police report 1 traffic fatality over the 4th of July weekend as part of the National Operation Combined Accident Reduction effort between July 3rd and July 5th. For this time period, there were 3 crashes from people driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, 12 DUI arrests, and 323 speeding tickets given out by police. In all, police report there were 34 crashes. Police assisted 52 motorists as well. Since 1977, several organizations have joined with Operation CARE in a combined effort to deter the 3 causes of highway fatalities. Those are speeding, impaired driving, and failure to use occupant restraints. Well, on a health note, a new clinical trial of a new investigational vaccine designed to protect against West Nile virus infection is underway. The trial will be sponsored by the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which is part of the National Institutes of Health. West Nile is most commonly spread through the bite of infected mosquitoes. Although an effective veterinary vaccine is available, no human vaccine has been approved for commercial use. The clinical trial will test the safety of the vaccine as well as its ability to produce an immune response. The trial will enroll 50 healthy men and women ages 18 to 50 years. The volunteers will be randomly assigned to receive a low or higher dose of the vaccine or a placebo. Study participants will be followed for 14 months. The clinical trial is being conducted by researchers at Duke University, and enrollment of the volunteers is expected to be completed by December of 2015. Well, coming up next, military veterans in New Hampshire receive even more support. We'll have that story coming up.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Kurt Weedy. Well, U.S. military veterans in New Hampshire are getting more support, this time from the governor and its legislators. Governor Maggie Hassan signed into law Senate Bill 55, a bill that allows private sector employers to establish a policy granting a veteran preference in hiring or for promotion decisions. Hassan says the bill recognizes veterans' skills and dedication for service. Lawmakers from both parties supported the bill. Well, it's hard to resist fresh produce and fruit at the many farm stands around our region. Kearsarge Chronicles' Lynn Solomon brings us this next story about one place you may want to check out.
It's July and we're here at Spring Ledge Farm in New London. Joining me now is Greg Berger. Greg's going to tell us what's in store for the farm this summer.
All right, well, July is the middle of the summer and the queen of the vegetable garden, the tomato, is now ready. We have loads of delicious tomatoes. We're growing heirlooms, we're growing beefsteaks, we're growing something in the cherry tomato range called a Sun Gold, which if you've never had one, you really need to. It's like candy and fruity and tropical, and you barely get them to your car before they're gone. So we do that and a whole medley of cherry tomatoes and things like that. Those are a great addition to your summer garden, your summer picnic.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to take some home, get a ball of mozzarella here, some basil that we grow here as well, and that's your salad / dinner right there all in one.
So tell us, what's your secret to your great tomatoes?
Well, I guess I could let a little bit of the secret out. One of it is we grow in compost-enriched soils, and we've been doing that for years. Another is that we graft our tomatoes and we choose our varieties very carefully. And we taste test all of our varieties the year before. And probably the third one is our crew that's growing them. We have a fantastic crew that tends to them, starts them from babies, from seeds, and prunes them, harvests them, polishes them, sets them out at the farm stand, and delivers them to you. So
Makes them look perfect.
that's right. They're so tasty.
Absolutely, but you need flowers to go on your lovely table.
Yes, flowers are always a nice addition, and not only do we still have some containers of flowers and some beautiful things to add to your porch and deck, but our cut flower garden is in full swing, and not only do we pick them for the farm stand for you, but you can also pick your own. So we do that by the pound. It's right here at the farm stand, and you just go out, there's scissors there, you can choose what colors you like, what size stems you like, and bring them in, we weigh them, and away you go.
That's great. It's nice to have some varieties you might not be growing in your own garden.
Yeah, we grow at least 250 varieties of plants out there.
Wonderful. Everything you need for your picnic right here at Spring Ledge
That's
Farm.
right. Excellent.
Super. Have a great July.
Thanks.
Summer weather brings with it many good reasons for eating fresh and local. Well, regarding another way to live healthy, a survey by the Centers for Disease and Control finds that 3 out of 4 American adults favor making 21 the minimum age of sale for tobacco products. Voters in Hawaii just approved this age hike, but it does remain to be seen if more states will agree. Of current smokers, 7 out of 10 favor raising the legal age that someone could purchase cigarettes, the CDC notes. The article with the CDC's results was published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine. In most states, including New Hampshire and Vermont, 18 is the minimum age for buying cigarettes or tobacco products. Some states and counties across the U.S. have adopted their own minimum age increases. Well, after the break, Kearsarge Chronicle host Lynn Solomon spoke with Betsy Lyons of the Sunapee Garden Club. We'll have that conversation for you when YCN News comes back. Stick around.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Mike Pizzone. Well, it was a pretty uncomfortable one out there with all that humidity, but these passing storms should do a lot in cooling things down a bit. Scattered thunderstorms will continue working their way through the region this evening, leaving some areas of patchy fog and much more comfortable temperatures in the low to mid 60s. Things will climb right back up into the upper 70s tomorrow, though, with a 40% chance of showers before noon and mostly sunny skies otherwise. Skies will remain partly cloudy tomorrow evening with calming winds and a low of 56 degrees. Thursday will bring more sunny skies with a high of 76 during the day before bottoming out at around 59 Thursday evening. Now let's take a look at our community calendar to see what's happening in the area. The Lake Sunapee VNA and Hospice is hosting a free blood pressure and glucose clinic tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Rite Aid on South Main Street in Newport, New Hampshire. Call the number on the screen to find out more. Windsor's Concert in the Commons series continues tomorrow at 6 p.m. with a performance from the indie folk band The Vagabonds at the State Street Commons in Windsor, Vermont. There is no cost to attend, and audience members are encouraged to bring a blanket or lawn chair. The Charlestown VFW Post Hall on Lovers Lane Road will host its weekly bingo night tomorrow with games beginning at 6:30 p.m. Food and soft drinks will be available, and games are the primary fundraiser for scholarships and other community donations. Last week we highlighted the area athletes named to New Hampshire's all-state baseball and softball teams. So today we figured we'd cross the river into Vermont to showcase the area athletes named to the Marble Valley League baseball team. And fittingly, the Division II runners-up from Bellows Falls were well represented on this year's first team, led by power-hitting shortstop Austin Stack, who had a knack for coming up big under pressure, senior center fielder Carson Fulham, who tallied his team's lone extra base hit in last month's title game, and senior catcher Ethan Illingworth, who was the team's backstop both on and off the field. Windsor senior shortstop Russell Simmons earned the nod for his solid defensive play, leading a young Yellow Jackets team to 4 wins in the midst of a rebuilding year, while Springfield senior Ben Tubbs, along with Cosmos senior Kyle White, also earned first-team selections after helping the Cosmos to an eventual number 9 seed in the Division II tournament. The area had 2 more representatives on the honorable mention list, with both Bellows Falls sophomore and big hitter Brady Illingworth and Terriers junior backbone Zach Streeter being recognized by opposing coaches. And also of note, Springfield first-year coach Rick Sapak was recognized for his efforts at the helm for the Cosmos, earning him Co-Coach of the Year honors. That does it for YCN Sports. I'm Mike Pizzone.
Thanks, Mike. Well, last Friday, we brought you part 1 of Capital Connections host John O'Connor's interview with Senator Jerry Little of New Hampshire. We'll pick up with part 2 of that conversation this week when we come back.
The YCN News continues in a moment.